Thank you. Start the clock. I found out a couple things. Steve sent an email out this week, and I had this really long speech prepared, and he said, "No one cares what you did in 1978." He said it to everybody, so I threw that away. Then I found another thing out about Steve, and he acknowledged all the inductees from years past, and that's a ploy to make sure that we all know that he's checking on that, so we come back and buy a ticket next year. So I'm on to Steve's deal. I would like to thank the Hall of Fame committee, all the hard work that John Scotty, I've known Scotty forever, and this is what a group that I'm coming into this with up here, these guys. I met Coach Selman for the first time at the Blues game that we all attended and talked to him for about 10 minutes and felt like I talked to him for 10 days. That mind is unbelievable there. I would say that the biggest part for me in this is that the acknowledgement and I guess the verification of our sport, roller hockey, as part of the hockey community, because that's really all we have tried to do throughout the years. It wasn't an ice or roller thing with guys like myself. It was wherever you ended up at, and you just run that as long as you can and have a lot of fun while you're doing it. And I think that's what we finally have achieved here with this great induction, and the honor is unbelievable for me to think that I'm amongst all these great people here. To be the first one to be put in the, I guess we'll call it the roller hockey wing of the Hall of Fame, really means a lot to me. There's many other people that I think also would done a great job in this, and many of them are in this room. I think that the relationships that someone else brought up earlier is the biggest thing. As I was walking through the cocktail reception, and as I'm looking out amongst these tables now, every single face I look at is somebody that I have a story about, and sometimes the story might be from 40 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever. And I think that the whole hockey community understands what I'm saying by that, is that the relationships that we all found, almost everybody I know in my life is, from the hockey world, and makes me wonder where I'd be without it. But I guess I need to have a couple shout outs before I run out of time and they cut me off. One is, I was going to say my Hikawi buddy tables, but there's tables of them. They go back all the way. They're on all those old pictures and stuff. In case anyone doesn't know what a Hikawi is, it was the Indians on F Troop. Don't ask me. We acquired that. I don't even know why, but anybody who remembers F Troop probably knows what I'm talking about. I would also like to acknowledge all of, I was lucky enough that Lindenwood University was so kind to sponsor a table, and I have the coaches that coach with me at this table here, and they took the number down so I can't call their table number out, and I forgot it, but 23, table 23. I'm lucky enough to have all those guys, Jim, Tom, John, these guys all helped me at Lindenwood, and I'm lucky enough also tonight for Jason Odell, who's our Assistant Director of Student Life Sports at Lindenwood. They provide us all the tools there to get done what we've been able to do so far. And especially, I'm glad to have 3 of my ex-players, ex-captains that have joined me tonight here. And those guys are really important to me because they all span my whole time I've been at Lindenwood now, starting my 12th year. And they were kind enough to join me here tonight. We have a lot of stories, and we shared a bunch of them, but what's most important to me is every one of these guys now is out there. They got real legitimate jobs, and they're very successful, and I'm very proud of those guys. We mentioned the Vipers. I will tell you one story. I was blown away. I came back. Scotty says, "Hey, Bernie Federko and Perry Turnbull want to come to the rink and watch us practice, and we're going to see about doing this pro roller hockey thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, right. Bernie Federko and Perry Turnbull are going to come to my rink and watch us." And they sure did. They showed up, and I want to thank those guys for having the confidence in me to ask that I join their coaching staff and was with the Vipers the whole time they're here. I think that was a big springboard for everything that I've been able to do with the sport of roller hockey since then. Perry, oh, never mind, Perry. It's no good sending any Perry stories without him here, so we'll just leave that go. But but everybody knows what I'm talking about, I'm sure there. Thanks. If I forgot anybody else tonight before I go on to this next table, I want to thank my family table, I'll call this here. I'm lucky enough to have both my sons here with their wives. JP and Brian, thanks for being here tonight, guys. My sister's here. Oz, thanks for being here and supporting. My mom is here, and she enjoys these things probably more than anybody, so I'm glad she's here. And we were talking beforehand at the party, or over here at the cocktail reception, someone mentioned my dad, and I said, wow, he'd have had a kick at this thing if he'd still be here, because we had some stories going back there. But it's been great for him to be here. He'd have got a big kick out of this. So thank you very much.